Kia ora whānau, and welcome to another episode of Get a Job, Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your host, as always, Alex Costas. I do apologise for putting this episode out late. Unfortunately, I have been a little bit sick and generally just feeling under the weather, aka feeling shit. And I just wanted to take a little bit of a break and try to get myself a little bit better. Also, I had to self-isolate for a day because there is, for those that don't know, there has been a case in Wellington in New Zealand where some person from Australia came over and from New South Wales and had the Delta strand, and what they did is they came to Wellington. They weren't positive at the time, and then they became positive, visited quite a few places, and one of the places was where my partner was, so we had to self-isolate, and then we found out that we didn't have to self-isolate now because we're fine, and that particular place has been cleared. However, Wellington is now at level 2, which means that people that are sort of high risk should take it very easy. You guys know my disabilities and stuff, so that I am actually considered high risk, as well as my mother. So my workplace has sort of deemed that if it's possible, I should work from home instead. So I've been basically working from home for the last couple of days. Now, problem with that, as you guys know, I've been sick the last sort of month, being realistic. So I've actually only gone into the work one day in the past 3 weeks. And that's been driving me a little bit crazy, a little bit insane, because, I even though I do like working from home, I still miss my people that I work with and stuff. And now I won't be able to sort of go back until at least Wednesday, unless they extend the lockdown, in which case I will have to stay longer. And I think I've talked about previously about my fall. I had a bad fall, and I basically landed on my ribs, which I talked about last week, and I am still dealing with the sort of aftermath of the pain from that. It is still quite sore, so I am quite heavily doped up on things like codeine, ibuprofen, Severodol, pretty strong drugs, so I'm taking it sort of easy while I'm on those so that I'm able to actually function. But all that's by the by. Let's get through the other stuff. If you want to contact me, please contact me at doncostas@gmail.com. That's DON for Nike, COSTAS @gmail.com. Also, you can contact me through my website, costasenterprises.business.blog, and also my Instagram @thekiwidon. You can contact me for any reason that you want. Ask me questions. What we're going to be talking about today is just a little bit about Redbubble. I have just restarted uploading designs again, so I've sort of had a couple that I talked before about scaling my kawaii pocket friends, and creating 100 designs in one day, basically, or 2 days. I created a whole lot of pocket friends, about 100 of them, and I took a long time, about probably 3 months, 2 to 3 months, to actually start uploading them. So I have in the last week started uploading them, and of course by doing that, it's also started me thinking a little bit more about what other designs I can do, what other things I can do. I just created a couple of new designs as well, which I've uploaded, which are not to do with the kawaii pocket friend. So I'm getting back into the sort of the designing part as well as the actual uploading. I do want to stress again exactly how easy it is to create your own sort of print on demand, and that if you haven't yet done this, you really should, because anything that's working in the background while you're asleep is always good. But that's by the by. By now, you either listen because you're trying to do that, or you don't, because you listen about me just talking about these sorts of things. What I did want to sort of talk about in regards to Redbubble, as well, is also the audience. Now, I noticed that for the last sort of 2 months, I haven't really pushed my audience. I haven't really done any ads or anything like that. So that has reflected quite significantly. For example, my previous big month in April was about 170 people I had, as opposed to sort of last month, which was just over sort of 50, maybe I think it was about 49. And then this month, in June, I've not even hit, I think I've just hit 40, maybe 30. So yeah, it's just, I've sort of lacked a bit on the things. But what I did want to talk about is just that, if you do keep your interest going during this whole time, that will end up doing more and more for you. Coincidentally, next month will actually be my 1-year anniversary of Redbubble, as I can see, because July 20 is sort of when I started getting views, and I don't think I started getting sales until September. So, it took about 2 months before I started getting any sales. But yeah, so I'm pretty looking forward to the 1 year, and in that time I kind of want to get myself up to 500 designs, so that in 1 year I've had a 500, and then just keep scaling it, keep going for it. Speaking of scaling, one of the things that I've noticed in a lot of YouTubers that do talk about these things, what is quite popular at the moment is actually, of course, the Olympics are coming up next month. So you may want to think about, if you are doing print on demand and starting to create some designs. Now, of course, be careful. There is trademarks on things like the word Olympics and so forth. But that doesn't stop you from doing things like, a flag of your country and saying team and then the flag. Or you want to be careful with things like Tokyo 2020. But you could, do something like that. I am planning on creating a quote t-shirt, which I think is quite funny, and I will try to sort of create that and do something about that. It is on the veins of using a movie reference, but not actually mentioning the movie itself, and sort of using a quote from the movie, which, if you know the movie, you'll know the quote. So I'm looking at doing that in the next couple of days. I have just recently done another one for Loki. So if you haven't watched Marvel's, Loki is on at the moment, and just recently he did "Love is a Dagger," as sort of a quote for when they're sort of asking what love is, and Loki sort of gets drunk and then says "Love is a dagger," explains it all. And so I've created a "Love is a Dagger" sort of design. Of course, it's only been uploaded in 1 day, so I don't expect anybody to sort of have viewed it, let alone buy it. But at the moment, in the trending results in Redbubble, one is "bound by glorious purpose," which is, of course, one of Loki's famous phrases. And so I've used that as one of the tags, so that someone will find that, as well as "Love is a Dagger" as a tag. So yeah, fingers crossed we get something there. But generally, yeah, I'm starting to sort of increase my Redbubble, work on Redbubble. I do want to hit sort of, as I said, 500 designs or more, and then in a year's time be hopefully maybe double that, be about 1,500 designs. So it does mean I've got to start being a bit more ambitious and being a bit more steadfast. And a lot of that is sort of motivation as well. But yeah, that is sort of what's been going on with me. Now, I will be releasing another episode sort of this week as well. I want to catch you guys up for missing this one, missing this week. So yeah, you will sort of get two podcast episodes, maybe one today, and one possibly the Thursday or Friday, hopefully. What else has been going on in my life? I'm still doing my recipe challenge, but I haven't cooked anything yet. However, this week it is my partner's birthday on Thursday, so I will be buying some ingredients to cook her something. I did suggest, how about I cook some steak? And she was like, no, you've cooked that before. Yeah, it's it is what it is. One thing I did want to talk about as well is finally I got my I ordered 4 masks from Redbubble. Now, previously I did an episode on doing product reviews of my products that I received from Redbubble, what they were like, what they were, and unfortunately I haven't really bought anything since that one. I know, and I was intending on buying sort of something every fortnight, a t-shirt or something like that, so that I can replace my current clothes with my own branding, and that is still the intention. One thing that has just happened to me is I have just paid off one of my massive debts, so that is completely paid. So now I have sort of one more debt to pay, which should be hopefully paid off in 1 to 2 pays, and then I will start, after I put my debt plan in place, which I talked about previously in another episode. I will be hopefully able to start doing things like every fortnight buying a hoodie or a t-shirt or something along those lines, with my designs, just to be like, this is my stuff, and wear it out. So that is the plan, but I thought I'd review my masks. Now, I am going to be completely and brutally honest. I think that the masks that I received, while the printing themselves looks really, really good, to the point where they are very high quality, including the image one. The cloth itself is quite thin. This is not going to be a medical grade mask, and it does say that when you buy them, but at the same time, and it's a real shame that the cloth wasn't as good as the one I got from Teespring. Let's put it that way. It is very thin, and while the designs do look good, seeing them on such a thin piece of material, and the sort of straps for the ears look like they're going to break. The only advantage of them is they are adjustable, but the cloth themselves is not very big enough. So if you're a bigger person like I am, the cloth sort of just barely covers your face. But overall, and this is not the kids' mask, this is the standard thing mask. This is not the fitted mask either, which costs a bit more. I'm thinking one day I might try the fitted masks, but if I do, it would be one of my pattern designs. So the designs that I bought, one of them I gave to my partner, which was the Monsteria Delicio design that I've got, and that's been sort of created as a pattern in that respect, and it looks quite nice because of that. And then for myself, I've got my Jacinda design that sells really well, because I thought, I've made like 12 sales on it. I should throw it out there and put another one on, and buy myself the one that is doing really well, which is the Can We Borrow Jacinda. And yeah, that came out quite nice, quite a good little mask as well. The next mask that I got was a Wellington skyline picture that I took at night time, which, after seeing it printed, it is very cool to see it printed. But what I've decided to do is, next time I do upload photos, it will be with a more high quality image. When I originally took the photos, they were done with my phone, which was, at max a 12 megapixel, and I think if you're going to use something like that on a mask, it does need to be a lot higher quality. Not that the mask didn't come out in bad shape, like it's still printed pretty nicely, and you can see it as the Wellington skyline, but you can see also that it is a little bit fuzzy compared to what I wanted. And the next thing I would do with those is I would also make the images themselves a higher DPI, a higher quality, so that when I do actually print them, they will be of high quality, so that anybody can sort of quite clearly see the image. And while you can see the image on the the photo on the mask, it is just a little bit blurrier than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be crisp, which when you're looking at it digitally, it does look crisp, but when you're looking at it on an actual mask, it's not as crisp, which is why you need to go for a higher quality image, of course, and make that a high quality image when you upload it. And finally, the last one I got was one of my newer designs, the Never Forget, and in this case I went with the Never Forget and the PlayStation 1 controller, the yellow and pink one. I've also got another version of pink and yellow, and I quite like that one. It does sort of need to be a little bit resized, so going with that in mind, one of the things I'm planning on doing shortly is going to go through every single design that I have and resize it just a little bit, just to make sure it is actually fitting and making everything better. I am mindful that my kawaii pocket friends, whereas before the idea was to have them as a pocket on a t-shirt, I've decided to make the pocket friend itself quite big, and take up sort of the whole t-shirt, just because after looking at the later plant ones, I'm getting more people liking those than I am getting them like the older designs. And I know that could be a tags things, but at the same time, I think I've seen other people utilize it better, whereas this way I can make it sort of like the pocket is the tummy, and the animal or the food will be popping out of that instead. And also it looks a lot better on other products if the actual pocket friend is larger. So I've got about close to 200 of those, which I'm going to have to resize, and that's including the ones that I'm still to upload. So yeah, that's the next sort of plan after I finish uploading these designs, is create a couple of Tokyo designs, upload those, and then start sizing my kawaii pocket friends. Hopefully by the time I've done that, my shop will be reviewed by Ryan Hogue on his Redbubble review. So I've got probably about hopefully 2 to 4 weeks, because he only does them bi-weekly. So yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm just trudging along, doing what I can, trying to keep as healthy as I can, and yeah, we'll continue to do that basically. I will give everyone a heads up on Thursday, what's been going on. As I said, unfortunately can't see exactly how many listens I've had recently. I know I've hit 1,100, which is amazing to me. But as soon as I hit these next sort of big listen things, I will let you know. As soon as I hit 1,200, 1,300 and so forth. Just know that, as always, I still love you guys very, very much, and I appreciate you listening. I hope that you will continue to listen and that you take something away from these things. The main takeaway for today is go start your print on demand shop through Redbubble or any of the other areas that you want to work in. Just take the time to do what you need to do for you. So yeah, I find it quite therapeutic when I start designing things and uploading them. While the upload process can be a bit slow, there are sort of things like automation designs which will allow you help upload that sort of stuff as well. I don't currently subscribe to those, however I will start thinking about it in the future, once I start sort of generating a bit more income from these Redbubble things. I am very close to hitting my second lot of $20, which means I would have earned about in 1 year about $80. I'm very, very close. I think maybe I've had about one sale every month for the since the last month, since September. So I'm sort of hoping out I get a few more. I am going to start doing seasonal designs as well. And most of my designs usually are not super trending designs, because I know people want trending designs to make their sales quickly and stuff, but what I try to do is I try to create trending designs that can be evergreen as well, so that no matter when people do get it, they can actually use that. So that's why, I could upload my thing with a whole lot of Tokyo Olympics and all that sort of stuff, but it's like, well, after the Tokyo Olympics, then no one's really going to see it. But if I create something that's more focused around sort of for example, Team USA or Team New Zealand or something like that, then anytime there's something to do with Team New Zealand or Team USA, they could effectively use that design. And it could be just like, something like the silver fern with, a rugby ball and, or a silver fern with a soccer ball and so forth. And so that when people do sort of search that, they'll be able to sort of use that, but they can also use that for the Olympics. And if I do it right, then I can also use that as a way to scale my designs. So that is sort of the next couple of plans, and then uploading those designs will be the next big thing. So as always, guys, I love you. I just said that before. Be good and stay safe as well. Like it's getting scary out there, especially with this new Delta variant and all that sort of stuff, and the Delta variant plus, and yeah, it's less than ideal. But feel free to contact me. I love you and look after yourselves. And always, good luck.